The last entry in my collection of Iron Wreckers is the Black O5, a night operations unit that is probably the Batman equivalent for mechas. Nothing new in the box besides the artwork, and obviously the content. So let's look at what this new pitch black mecha brings to us. The box is a simplified variant of what we have previously seen for this line. Instead of the foldable cover common to many other mecha boxes, we have this simple card box. It resembles what we have seen for the Tyrant 02, of course on a different scale. Inside there is our mecha and its components in the usual safety plastic clamshell. And after the surprises we had in the previous videos, this Iron Wrecker is remarkably not falling apart. At least we will be able to save some time in reassembling it. Let's put him aside so that I can recover the other pieces. Nothing fancy to show, so see you in the future. And here we are admiring the black coating with many other dark grey tones. There is nice highlighting all along the edges with many inserts in different colors. On the back the armor is leaving room to the more metallic endoskeleton and its mechanical details. It definitely trades frontal protection at the expense of the rear, very realistic. Like all other Iron Wreckers, the top cover/head can be raised to allow the pilot to enter the cockpit and comfortably sit inside the unit. On top there is the reclinable sensor array, while from the inside the seat can be removed if necessary for your display. Moving to articulations now, this is an Iron Wrecker, so we cannot expect anything different from what we have seen in the past. So shoulders are limited by the lack of butterfly joints, while the arms, in general, have quite some good level of movement. The hands are the standard fully articulated hands we have seen in the past, with all the good and bad of this design. We already know that they will have issues in holding weapons that are too heavy without support. There are the usual injured shoulder plates that can be moved up and down and by design should not impede any movement. No ratcheted joints at all, so these may become loose if you play with them too long, but we all know this is not a toy. But what is the selling point for this mecha is that it is a flying unit, and a big and robust stand is provided for that. In addition to many other small parts, some of them looking like some hybrid between blades and wings, that we need to attach of course. And to guide us we have the omnipresent instructions leaflet and its valuable support. Luckily for us, it is not complicated stuff and most of the mecha already arrives in one piece. We are only left with fine-tuning the details. Attaching the blades on the back is quite simple using the provided attachment points and adapters. Then in theory you will need to attach the remaining two blades to each of the arms using the available slots. Again, nothing complicated, it only requires a few seconds to figure out the best approach before going all in. Well, it does not look the most robust installation ever, but it is good enough for our display shelves. And we can always say that they are not killing blades, but more stabilization wings, or maybe dual-purpose tools, who knows. I'm not convinced yet that I want to display it with all of these blades around, but the overall impression is quite aggressive. Okay, once we mounted all the gadgets and the red ammo boxes on the front torso, we can finally admire our flying Black Devil, and I must say that it is one of the coolest Iron Wreckers I have. It has the aura that only Spec Ops units have, and I can't wait to mount it on the flying stand, where it rightly deserves to pose, spreading death and destruction from the skies. And to make its missions easier, in addition to the deadly blades, it is also provided with this sleek short machine gun/rifle/pistol. Therefore, our cool Night Hunter can actually hit from distance, not just rush like a kamikaze in the clouds. This is a piloted mecha, so our ace pilot is this tiny 1/25 scale guy with this murky face. It has one of the coolest armors I have seen, with a clean, cool paint job. The head sculpt is not bad at all, with the overall look is quite nice. The guy comes with a ponytail and a rocket assist backpack. Don't ask me how dangerous it is to sit inside a closed cockpit with a jet-powered backpack, but he also comes with its set of tiny weapons and a helmeted head option. Again, I'm not a fan of these small figures because of my fat fingers, but this guy is well made. I will love JOYTOY to upscale these pilots as larger 1/18 scale figures, but I think that will remain a dream. In the meanwhile, we can take a full 360 degrees views to the fully assembled unit in its full blades mode. It is quite a stable platform once posed, even in absence of ratcheted joints. Overall is not a heavy weight, so this helps for sure. And it looks super cool. The paint job especially confers that sleek look that I personally love. Then, for blades on the back, confer an insect-like feeling like a flying beetle. And I believe this to be fitting since it is still a chunky guy, with a not much slender look. And this is probably what I like the most, a deadly flying armored mecha armored to the teeth. And this makes me suspend any disbelief about how such a thing could really fly. We can always say that those wings are acting as anti-gravitational units, and a mix of rockets and directional units can give it a high degree of maneuverability. You know, in your headcanon everything is possible. And we also have room for a pose with a rifle and, surprise, with a sword in hand. Yes, those wings are actually dual purpose, and here you have a flying skirmisher that does not disdain some melee fight. Nothing is impossible. And finally we can make it fly. The stand that is provided is quite robust, and it is able to handle the weight of the mecha without many issues. That unless you are going for a completely unbalanced pose, which you need to avoid. But for all kind of reasonable poses, by playing with the different joints in the stand, you can achieve some nice death from above poses. Sadly, you will not be able to achieve a diving attack because of the peg being located on the back of the mecha, but all other normal flying assets you should be ready to go. I don't have other flying mechas of these size in my collection, so this guy is really deserving a place of honor in my shelves, and of course it eats a lot of vertical space. So far, it looks like this is the coolest Iron Wrecker I have ever seen, if not only because of this flying ability. I know there is another flying Iron Wrecker, but I don't have it yet, so this is easily my best flying mecha. And it is now time for comparisons, starting from the Iron Wrecker 02 on the left, and my first Iron Wrecker ever, the 04 on the right. Check out their reviews if you have not seen them for details. The paint job for the entire line is quite good, but these three have some of the best in the line, each with its own peculiarities. Weapons loadouts are completely different too, so it is clear that while there are commonalities in the overall design, these units are completely fitting different roles on the battlefield. And if you have a Night Hunter in the sky, our Iron Wrecker 05 is the right player. And it also compares favorably with other 118 scale figures, so there is plenty of opportunities for mixing and matching them on the shelves. So in conclusion, if you like the Night Hunter style, and if you want a flying mecha, this is the one for you. I can also praise the lack of quality control issues, which is a very good news after the past experiences. Having said that, I wish you a nice rest of the day, looking for some intruders in the skies around you.